My name's Aaron, and welcome to Goddard Garage. In today's episode, we're going to go over the bumper cover removal process for a 2024 Honda Passport. This process is very similar for the Pilot, the Odyssey, and the Ridgeline, so I hope you find it useful. I know I definitely found some good tips and tricks along the way. If you find this video useful, it'd really help the channel if you'd subscribe. We're almost to that 1,000 subscriber mark. This is going to be my first time doing it since buying the vehicle, and it's always a little nerve-wracking, so I'm going to kind of show you how it goes for me so you can learn from my mistakes. Hopefully it all goes very smooth. We're going to walk through these instructions together. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the bulkhead cover and the air intake tube. Those are pretty simple. I've done those a bunch of times. For the bulkhead cover, just start in the ends, pop up. Whole thing comes off with pretty little hassle. Once that's complete, there's 4 Phillips screw pins to remove. You only need to remove the top 2 to get the air intake portion off, so we'll just start with that. Ignore the other 2. From there, it's just a push connect right here, nice and easy. Next, we're going to target the wheel well area. It says there's 3 self-tapping screws underneath here. And then once we get those, we should be able to pull off the outer clips here. I'm a little bit nervous about this part. Everywhere online says you just pull it off, but we've kind of ripped off one of ours in the rear and it totally broke some of the clips. So I'm curious to see how that works. They do look like they're just pushing clips though, so it should come right off. Let's go take a look at what that feels like. Here's the 3 screws, just like the instructions say. We're gonna remove these on both sides and proceed. I think the door might need to be open for this one. Let's take a look. Yep, I was right. The door needed to be open for that bottom one. Man, someone's been doing too much off-roading. We got a lot of dirt under here. Take this as a good time to wash it all out. Overall, that was smoother than anticipated. I can see how these push pins kind of work. Oh, I see. So these actually need to be slotted back on before reinstall, so we'll be pulling these little clips out. I actually need some new ones of these for the back because we lost a few off-roading. You can see how they kind of slide right on. I'm going to do everything I do on this side, I'm going to be doing on the other side at the same time, but I'm going to be skipping that for the video. Ran into 2 snags on this side. I noticed that when I pulled out this clip, it cracked the attachment point a little bit, which I believe is what happened on my off-road back trim stuff that I was mentioning before. So I think what's best is to try to get this liner exposed so that you can take your finger and push back here. That's definitely more work than just ripping it off like I did, and that's worked out pretty well. So, you know, I'm gonna be able to get it back on, but if you wanna make sure you avoid damage, see if you can get your finger on the back of most of these push pins. I don't love that I'm getting so much damage on the cracks here as well. So this side also is stuck in, so I'm going to undo this screw and I'm going to see if I can get my finger on the tab. We want to try to push down on the tab right here on this side so it can come out. All right, so we put a little bit of upward pressure on this spot, but that's what you want to make sure you don't rip out. It looks like we're still intact, but definitely was worth the extra effort to be safe. This is the piece that I was pushing on to get it out. And if you look in there closely, we did damage the center. Again, it's gonna work, but those are the types of things you gotta be careful with. Get you a close up on the damage on, it was this back one. So here's kind of the same stuff. It's starting to crack right there. Thankfully, these are held on with in numbers, but still you wanna try to keep the wear and tear down on these plastic pieces. Next, the instructions have us transitioning into the engine bay again, removing 4 clips from the top of the plastic visor. I didn't even know that part was so easy to remove, so let's go take a look at this. That's pretty funny. One of my clips is already popping out, but we're gonna remove these top 4 clips. I saw online there's a tool for these kind of push pins, but I'm using a flathead screwdriver, and I'm gonna just target it from different angles, see if I can get it to pop up. I got first one to pop up pretty easy. All right, so I just kind of go in diagonal, keep working at it until I feel it pop up. This one's in a little tighter. Let's see if we go from this side. There we go. They kind of pop out with some force. But that gets all 3 of them out. Definitely gonna look into that tool if I plan on taking this off more often. Now that we got those push pins removed, we've got to pry this top cover off. Apparently you just kind of wedge right here and kind of pry it out with a plastic pry tool. All of this seems very concerning to me, but we will give it a try. That held on pretty good. Also, this is that black piano plastic. Oh, wow. All right, that diagonal pry right there kind of popped it off. Let's see if we can continue it. Okay, I think I'm gonna do the same diagonal pry on this side. See if we can get that to release. Underneath looks like it's a little easier to grab from. Let's try that strategy. Man, I heard a crack. I thought I cracked my headlight. That would be just really annoying right now. All right, I hear it. It's coming. Whew! That's a terrifying part of this project. All right, boom. So we lost 2 of the white clips. Good luck finding them. This type of stuff you don't really order ahead of time, but oh, I see it. The white clip's right here, so I'm gonna use some tweezers to try to fish it out, but it's held on with 2 plastic press clips. Get you guys a close up here. So we lost 2 of the white plastic clips to the inside. I can see one inside there that I'll fish out. So we got 2 friction fit clips right there and the rest of them up top. So that's kind of what you're prying against. I do feel like going from the bottom ended up being a better approach than from the top. It's also a hair less visible if you end up scratching the headlight or the black piano plastic. So on to page 5. The next step, it says to mask the joints where they connect to protect them. I think I'm gonna pass on that for now. And it shows us that there are a bunch of clips, bolts, and self-tapping screws underneath, 3 on the side, some 4 long bolts on the top. I saw those. So let's start from the top, go to the sides, then go to the bottom. All right, I've got these magnetic trays that I keep all the bolts in, and I've got an impact gun. Should make this really easy. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got 1, 2, 3 right here. And again, not repeating the other side. While I was on this side, I undid the top 2 screws, leaving this top one intact just like the other side. But once I did that, only this piece was connected. The remainder bracket just fell down. This was pre-existing damage from our Overland South adventure that we went on last. Check out our other channel, Goddard Garage, for all our off-road content. We really pushed this lifted passport harder than you'd expect, to the point where we're breaking clips in the front of the vehicle. Thankfully, the front end still has pretty tight joints, and it's still looking good visually, but I will be looking up how much it costs to replace this bracket. We also are going to be working on some Under Armour solutions here that don't already exist. We've got Armour from Nolo Designs and front rear skid plate, and they are doing awesome. But I'm looking to make some, what I'm going to call belly runners or belly sliders, some bars along the center that take the load of the vehicle off the drivetrain and off the exhaust. The exhaust will still take a little bit of the hit, but the main thing is to make sure that carrier bearing's not taking the brunt of the load when we high center in the middle. Anyways, check out Goddard Adventure because we do push this thing hard and we have some epic adventures. On the bottom, it's gonna be a little harder to film, but we're gonna be taking out these 3 clips on each side and these 8 short bolts. With our little impact, should make some pretty quick work, and we'll be using the flathead screwdriver technique for the clips. I'll let you see any struggles, but otherwise this is the location. The instructions say to release the bumper cover tabs next and then disconnect the lights. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the lights first and then disconnect those tabs. I'm also gonna grab a helping hand because I've seen one video online where the bumper cover just flew off after those clips were released, and I don't want that happening onto the cement. Sometimes it's the dumbest things that take forever when you're doing this kind of repair. So I had a bunch of dust in this connector, and so it made it hard to get off. But it's this main connector right here, then goes to the side signal and the fog light. So once you disconnect that, the rest of the wiring is actually connected to the bumper cover, not the vehicle. So you just have to release this on both sides. It's just a press clip or press button right here and then sliding off. But the way this is mounted, it's kind of loose and it just made it harder than it should have been, especially working on your back.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get the other side to that same place. All right,
Got it.
slow down.
Yep.
So right about there, when it released, is where we would have dropped it. So I'm gonna grab right here. You go on the other side in the same spot. We're gonna be really careful. We need to make sure it's not connected anywhere. I'm still feeling, for some reason, a little bit of... It's crazy, but it looks like I forgot 2 screws on this side. So can you set it?
I got it.
All right, you can hold it. What an amateur. Luckily we got this guy right here. Should make pretty quick work. I'm confused. I don't think those screws need to come out. So let's take a look at what's happening here. All right, one sec. Let me look on this side, see what the difference is. So this whole piece came out because those, okay, so those screws were important. I'll show you once I get this out.
Get it?
Almost. Okay, one sec. Let's grab this carefully.
All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna set it over here. So on the other side, we took out these 2 screws and on this side we didn't, but it was definitely important because it connects to these two spots right here and right here. Now you can kind of see behind the scenes here. We also have to try to see if we can find those two clips that fell down behind here. I tried fishing them out, I couldn't do it, so we're gonna have to, they're probably still trapped in there. To put the bumper cover back on, you just follow the same steps in reverse. This is the beginning step for a lot of maintenance. For instance, today I'm doing a transmission cooler install video as well. So go ahead and if you're interested in that, check out the other video that's gonna go up. But this is how you'd have to do this to replace your headlights, to do all kinds of stuff. So hope you guys found this video informational, and hopefully it saves you some heartache, because I definitely had some little moments I had to figure out despite having directions and the internet on my side, because there's not a lot of people who have done this on the newer gen of the Passport, the 2022 to 2025. We'll catch you guys on the next repair. Aaron, out.